So,
forgot to.
what is gratitude?
I told you. Remind me to record. I always forget to record.
Yeah. So, guys, what is gratitude? It is readiness to show appreciation and to return kindness. It's an emotion in experience we always feel when we receive something, maybe a gift or help or any kind of anything when we are on receiving part, good things, then we feel that this experience this feeling of gratitude. The feeling of gratitude motivates us to return it into action. So all when we feel gratitude, we always think about how to return. We are naturally inclined to pay it back or pay it forward, and by any means. So that is gratitude. If you can move up, Scott,
Yeah, I'm just
the slide, not this one, not this one. Yeah.
sorry, I'm just letting some people in.
Up. Yes. Can you please move up?
Yeah, I'm
So,
trying to.
yeah, up,
That one?
yeah. So we would like to know who is here. So if you in the chat, if you can tell who you are, why you are here, just write down, and why you came. What in few words, what's your expectation from this meetup, from this session? Please let us know. Thank you. Just
And,
take 2 minutes
and
and
just
write.
something, if you're not a Zoom expert,
Yeah.
you can download the chat. So we'll do chat today. We'll put links in it. We'll put material in it, and any of you can download that to your own machines. So that's like it takes notes for you, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
So. And there's more people coming in.
Yes.
So welcome, everyone.
So we've got some messages. Judy from London, and she would like to know how we can perhaps beckon gratitude in our work life. We can also use it to our personal life. That's beautiful, along with work life. Santhanam from Bangalore, India. I'm here to learn from fellow Agilists. Wow, welcome. Maru Van, please forgive me with my pronunciation of name. So German, lean and agilist, and also NLP and systematic coaching expert, here to exchange and learn. Please welcome. Okay. So do you want me to wait?
And a few of the trustees
Scott,
as well. Yeah. So that's great. So it's kind of good to know. And one of the things that we always like to do in Zoom calls is allow people to talk and allow people to share, because oftentimes on the calls, and we had one yesterday in the dyslexic session, the audience, the audience had a huge wealth of information. So kind of unlocking that in discussion and dialogue is really good. The other thing is that in these times of COVID, connections hard, meeting people's hard. We're all a little bit isolated. So those opportunities that we've got to talk, are great. So again, here's someone else coming in. So what we want to do next was do a little bit of an exercise. Now, everything we do has got a right to pass. So I think it's really important that all meetups and everything have a right to pass. So if we're suggesting you go into a room, and we'll put into rooms of 3. But if you don't want to go in the room, that's entirely happy as well. So I'm going to hand over to Deepa to let you know what you're doing, and I'm going to go and queue up the rooms.
So it's a little one-on-one discussion we would like to do in the rooms. So first introduce yourself and share a bit about why you're here with your buddies in the room. Examine and share what you are grateful for today. So today only, just share with your buddies what we are grateful for. Discuss equally, make sure everyone has an equal sharing of experience. So it's just 10-minute activity. So just, sharing is caring. Give everyone room to share about what you are feeling grateful for today. Any problem, just come back to the main room.
Yeah, one of the things we
So
find
Scott
with
is setting up the rooms.
one of the things we found with Zoom calls are sometimes, well, I've kind of got an observation that some of the calls are kind of dominated by men, and other times they're dominated by people whose first language is English. So I think perhaps there's different styles of communication. So please, when you're in the group, please share that around. And don't worry about if English is your second language. Don't worry about that. No one's judging your English. We're only here to connect with
Yeah.
people. Yeah, oh, Solly's waving there. I'm always telling Solly her English is great, and she never believes me. So yeah, okay. I'm going to pop everyone in the rooms. You should be in rooms of 3. If you don't want to go in the room, just stay here, and that's perfectly okay as well. And yeah, I'm doing it now, and we'll have 10 minutes in the room. So go and make some friends.
And we'll come back and share some feedback also.
Hello there, Rohit.
Hello. Sorry, I'm late.
No, you're okay. We've started a little group exercise, so people are in rooms, but it's okay. You don't have to go into the rooms or not. So
Sure.
for 10 minutes, people in the rooms are going to be talking and just sharing about things they're grateful for. So
Thanks for letting me know.
no, that's okay. And yeah, we'll just I'm just making sure that everyone's in a room with someone because it's which I think we've done now. We've got everyone in rooms. Oh, hang on. I can put you in a room if you want. Would you like that?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Okay, I'll put you in with Solly.
Thank you.
Alexa, play Three Little Birds.
Here's Three Little Birds by
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. There was a rumor going around that I only put people into meeting rooms so I can make a cup of coffee. That's scurrilous. But I did go and make a cup of coffee.
No, you reminded me that I also need coffee. Damn it.
Yeah. Well, we're just doing a playback on the gratitude, so you can. I'm grateful for coffee. Actually, one of the biggest things about COVID that I'm grateful for is my birthday is the 13th of March, which is the same day as the UK lockdown and shops shut and everything else. And for my birthday, my wife gave me an espresso maker. So I've managed to have homemade espresso coffee all COVID. And I'm not sure I could have coped without it. So little
We know
things.
he loves you a lot.
Yes.
You're a charmer. Real charmer.
You keep saying this. I don't see it, but
Deepa said, what's going on here? Anyways. Yeah.
Hey, maybe that's the reason we don't work together anymore. Well, it's okay. We always had Robin from London to chaperone, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Although I notice your husband's on, so I should be careful.
Oh. So everybody is on, I think, back. Let's move on.
Right. So
share the slide.
Yep, I'm going to do that now. I just, for some reason, it wasn't sharing. So, right. Do we want to play? Let's just actually leave the slide off just now, and that's just so we can see people. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So. What did you talk about? What were the kind of things you talked about? What were the kind of things you are grateful for? Who's brave enough to go first?
I'll go first, if you don't mind.
You have the floor, Mr. Jones.
Hello, everyone. I'm Joseph Jones. I'm from the United States. And I joined this session because I think it's important to share, to be able to stop in the moment and share how grateful we are, because I think some tend to take a lot for granted. And it's important to take that time for yourself. Some things that I'm grateful for is just, again, being in this global pandemic, just having, still having good health and the right frame of mind. And then just my community, my tribe, that's my family, my friends, and then, my communities outside of relatives, such as, attending events like Agile 20 Reflect and some of the other Agile meetups and groups that I'm a part of, as I begin to meet other who might have started out as being strangers, not knowing them, but then through relationships and communication became friends, became part of another tribe. So just being grateful for community.
That's absolutely beautiful. When we put the festival together, the trustees, went off and did some work in the subgroup on what we came back and what we were doing, and they came back with we're trying to make connection, we're trying to bring people together, and building bridges was the other thing. So I really think we're doing well in that, with all the different communities and different people. Even from the call today, we can see all the different countries and all the different people. So that kind of connection. When we had our opening ceremony, we had Nana and Padmini in, and they were stressing the human to human connection bit, because that's what we're losing. That's definitely what we're losing just now in COVID.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful for this opportunity.
Yeah, and so powerful.
Yeah, but the final thing I'm going to say is I set up the poetry cafe, and a lot of people turned up. And the poetry cafe, reading poetry to each other, is still my highlight of the festival. Just that human connection. So I'm really grateful for you guys coming today to do the human connection. Okay, that's Joseph, and I've shared as well, so I'm gonna be quiet for a bit. So who else would like to come in?
I can go. Well, as I said in my presentation when I introduced myself, for me, gratitude is a great topic. Was a very important one during 2020 in my personal life, and as you just said, Joseph just said, as in my communities, in my group of people, mostly because I live alone here, so the lockdown and all these months alone was really, really hard with health issues. So you go back to the basics to be grateful of very simple things. So for me, was an introspection and a reevaluation of values and what we have, as Joseph clearly beautiful said, what we took for granted, we take for granted every day. So when I saw this session here, it's for me very suitable for a Sunday afternoon, snowing outside, to be a little warm here, because I know that it's going to be a very warm session, because I know Scott, so he's a very beautiful person and warm and sensitive. So yeah, I hope to meet more Scots in this session. And I'm grateful for being here.
Beautiful. Who's next?
Can I be the next one? I'm cooking here and listening to you. I'm very grateful for
What are you making, Julia? Tell us what you're making.
Mexican food for the first time in my life. I got inspired with our international mood, so it's in my kitchen, a part of Agile Fest. I'm very grateful, very thankful to Scott for not kicking me out from the fest. I've been lazy. I've been into hospitals. I've been burying my father. You know, all many things happened. But thank you for really accepting me.
Honestly, there was no way any of that was going to be a reason for you being kicked out. Sorry.
So thank you also for this webinar on the Sunday time, dedicating your life to us. That's amazing to remind us we need to be grateful. Very thankful, actually, I was thinking for my husband, who is 15 years actually living with me. It's amazing. I don't know how the guy can do that. So I will give him 5. I will give him food today, the one I cooked. Okay. I'm very thankful for my mother, who has a very difficult life and struggling with health. And I'm sure she's living just to support me because the life is difficult. So very thankful to my mom. I'm very thankful for my daddy, there over the rainbow, sending me hugs sometimes. I can feel it. And I have to be egoistic. I'm very grateful to myself for making it until today. And you know, not stopping at the hard times. So thanks to everybody, and to a nice lady we were in the room. She was amazing.
Connections.
Yeah.
And anyone else want to come in? And I'm very grateful for you, Julia. One more, and then we'll move on a little bit, because I know some of came for connection.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I can go. Yeah, my name is Ndive PC from Nigeria. I'm so happy to be here. I'm thankful to God for being alive today amidst COVID pandemic. You know, I'm so happy. I'm just thankful to God. Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about the spiritual dimension. I think there's a reason that, you know, actually I'm not going to talk about it because Deepa's going to talk about that, but there's a real connection to spirituality and you know, and each other there. Yeah, beautiful, Deep. Nice to meet you. Okay, let me share the screens again, the slides again. Okay, I've lost my context. Does anyone else find working Zoom with 2 monitors a bit of a pain at times?
I don't have 2 monitors, but it's one of my projects this year to get one.
Yeah, it was my lockdown gift to myself. Okay, I am getting baffled by this now.
What's the problem you're facing, Scott?
I don't see the sharing button anywhere. Oh, it's okay. It was behind my my toolbar and the screen. Found it. Okay, and sorry, we're gonna share these slides. Okay, can you see the slides? Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. So that was the exercise we did, and then we came back, and you know, we followed through the discover piece. every time we go into meeting rooms, it's good to come back and play back to the wider group just what happened. So that's awesome. Yeah, I'm going to hand over to Deepa here, and she's going to take us into this is the part where we're going to go through some of the learning and material, and then afterwards we'll do a couple of exercises. So Deepa, do you want to take us away on the start of the slides?
Yeah. Thank you.
Just say next when you want to move.
Okay. Yeah. So there are lots and lots of books we have about gratitude. You can go through any of them and find out. So yeah, please move next. Not this one. Next, we did that. This.
Okay.
Let's explore gratitude. So yeah. Let's explore.
Yeah, so I think I was going to do this one. I quite like this diagram because it splits lots of ways gratitude can help, and all of this is from research. If we look across it, there's so many different features. It helps us to grow in our self-esteem and self-love and acceptance. It makes us better. With kind of heart health, and again, Deepa's going to go into that in a lot of detail. It improves workplace relationships, and we're going to be talking about that kind of thing when we're looking at gratitude and Agile. We've got more joy, happiness. It lowers blood pressure and stress. And you might think these things are kind of a bit wild, but we've actually got scientific studies showing it, which is crazy. And again, all these wonderful things that it does is just really amazing. It's but like I said in the first slide, it's not a cure-all. If you've got something wrong with you, you maybe need to get help for it. But if you're just a little bit blue in COVID, if you're maybe struggling a bit in work, if you're struggling a bit in your relationships, then they need boosters. These powers of gratitude could really kick in. Okay, Deepa, do you want to take us away on the more spiritual side?
So gratitude is not something modern or new term. It's coming from the age long, from our ancestors. It has a long lasting connection from our history. So from the religion. So several world's religion talks about it. Gratitude. Gratitude is parent of all virtues. So be it Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and many more. Many more world's religion talks about gratitude. How it is, how we should show gratitude to everything, to earth, to all the resources, to parents, to everything. So grateful people sense that they are not separate from other or God. It's a deep sense of gratefulness. Yeah. Please, next. So as you can see, in our ancient culture, we are also celebrating worldwide lots of festivals, which is for showing our gratitude. For an example, Thanksgiving Day in America is an ancient tradition for harvesting, just to show our gratitude to Mother Nature. Same Sukkot in Jewish, again harvest festival. In India, we always celebrate Lori, Pongal, Makar Sankranti, again in harvest festival. Chung Chui, ancient Chinese festival, harvest one. Cerealia, Lammas Day. So there are a lot of festivals which are based on the sense of gratitude. And actually, I was not aware of them. I mean, I know, but I couldn't earlier relate it to that. It is really to show our gratitude to Mother Nature, to the resources on which we are quite dependent. So we are actually doing lots of celebrating festivals on gratitude. Yes, Scott.
And I think that's more important these days. So we all live we'll live separately from the planet and the resources. Most of us don't work in agriculture anymore. We're not tied to the seasons. We've got electric lighting. We're not tied to the days. Our houses are kind of heated or cooled, so we're not really even tied to that cycle. And I think the whole climate change thing and our connection with the planet and how we move forward and healing the planet again, which was part of our opening keynote. I think we've lost gratitude for the planet because we're so caught up on money. I think we're so caught up in our own kind of, pressures. I would honestly say, there's many of us will spend more time worrying about what our neighbors are doing and feeling jealous about them on Facebook than we do than just thanking, the world that we live in. Sorry, I just wanted to build on that, Deepa. I just think that we're disconnected in that area.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so what's a culture without gratitude like? And kind of building on that. And many of you might have worked in places like this, and again, if you have worked in places like this or these things do sound familiar, and you want to share, use the chat. Use the chat as much as you want. So without gratitude, sometimes it's almost like we're in a death march. We're in a slave march. It's terrible. We're not connected with the world. A lot of the stuff, then Taylorism, and we had this in one of the talks last week. Taylorism was where we kind of split people into working in offices and then splitting the work up, so you've only got one thing to do, and then you're just trying to do that repetitively, and that breeds great efficiency. But in terms of working together as a team, it's just it doesn't help. It's it's a horrible situation to be in. Companies that are like that can often have low morale. We've got apps like Glassdoor that where you can kind of rank different organizations, and many of these organizations will get marked low, and the reason is it's everyone just feels like they're a kind of a hamster on a wheel, and they're just part of some doing. There's no connection to vision, and people in that situation aren't actually grateful they're working. They see it as a chore. There's greed and rampant bullying in many workplaces, where people aren't thankful for each other and for what they bring. We've all seen the situation where bad bosses will shout at workforce when they don't realize that the only reason that they're a boss is the workforce and the good things they do. And then sometimes we completely reward the wrong behavior. And these are the places that people don't like to stay in. There's there's a lot of turnover, and we are making prison cells for ourselves. Work shouldn't be prison. There's work should. We spend so much time at work. It should be where our soul sings. Not where our soul drops. Again, Deepa put this in the slide deck, and I love it. Which is like, you don't lead by hitting people over the head. That's assault, not leadership. And yet, how many places are like that, and how? I mean, again, if anyone's got the music in the background, could you mute? I think it's an ice cream van. Okay, thank you. So again, even leaders, oftentimes they see the workforce as the problem because it's too expensive, or the problem because it doesn't do what they want, or the problem because they've outsourced it and they don't feel the outsourced suppliers are coming. They're not grateful for what they've got. They're always trying to get to another situation where things would be better. They're not grateful for what they've got. And if you don't value your suppliers, if you don't value your workforce, if you don't value your company, then I can't think you're a leader, because all the best leaders do. Here's an actual study that they did. So Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania, did a study on two groups. One group made phone calls, to get donations, and the second group, who was assigned exactly the same work, got a pep talk and they got thanked before they did it. They did this a couple of times to replicate the results. But the ones with gratitude, the ones in the workforce that had gratitude or felt the leadership had gratitude for them, you did 50% more fundraising calls. So that's 50% more effort went in just for that one thing, just for that being valued. Huge, absolutely huge. At the bottom here, there's I put all the links into all these studies and everything else, but there was actually, I could have had 10 pages of links to studies that that have kind of replicated similar results. Do you want to take us over the physical stuff?
Yeah, but before moving to that, I can't agree more. Like, it's not required for leaders in our personal life also. Gratitude is such a thing, beautiful thing that you remember. So I would like to share one experience of mine. So I was traveling from London to Scotland, and the ticket checker came in, and after showing my ticket, he said, "Thank you." And he was saying thank you to everyone. I never experienced that in India. Maybe that's something cultural, but I really love the way he was thanking everyone. And from that, I just grabbed that thing. And now, to every security guard, to waiter, to anyone who helped me, I always try to thank them. I always try to thank them. And I think they might remember me for that. So I think that's very important, very very important in our personal life, to thank you each and everyone, to thank you for, because I think if someone come up to me and thanks me for my services, I really feel good about it. So though they people are doing their work, the daily course, professional, personal, whatever, just saying two magic words would really make difference. So that's lovely, Scott. I mean, I think I should use it more and more. Okay, coming back to work of Glenn Affleck. So that's another study by Glenn Affleck. And as Scott talked about the study about fundraiser, how the people, the other group got more fundraising. Gratitude is also related to our health, cardiac health, you know. So cardiac patients who blame their heart attack on others were more likely to suffer yet another one. See how it is connected. Those who perceived benefit from an initial heart attack were more apt to have a reduced risk of a subsequent attack. So gratitude drives out toxic emotions and may be associated with better long-term emotional and physical health. And here on the other side, you can see, how our heart rhythm is changing when we are frustrated or when we are appreciating. See, see the difference you can see by yourself. So I think from now onwards, we should start doing more, start appreciating more. That's really is the need of the hour.
Yeah,
To start appreciating.
you kind of reminded me of something happened a couple of years ago. I was working with a team. There was a transformation team. They were the team planning the transformation, and there was very low respect for each other. And part of it had been born from having a very frustrating job and not having got through it. And I'd kind of been brought in as a coach to try and help the transformation, but seeing the team needed help, it was interesting to kind of, to focus on that. So when we had our first retro, I kind of threw the more, better, different, less out, and I got them all in a room, and to each of them, I got them to go in pairs, and each of them to talk about the things that they liked about each other, not the things that annoyed them about each other, not anything else. And I'll remember, I was really worried. I was terrified that this wouldn't work because I knew there were, it was so difficult. And there were about 7 in the team. So that was like, it's, 6 one-to-ones. And they did it in the same room, and they all went to different corners of the room and did it. And they swapped around like a dance. And it was loud and it was energetic and there was laughing and there was happiness. And it was such a successful thing. I really, if you ever get a team that's having that kind of problem, that appreciation just completely, it was almost as if I'd given them mood enhancing drugs. I think that's the only thing I could say. The only impact I could have been if I'd perhaps given them all ecstasy or something. Unbelievable. And they kept talking about how that was great. And then the next day and the next week, all the meetings were much better. Fascinating, just the power of appreciation. And and saying thank you and looking at the things that we kind of appreciate in each other. I'm sorry for jumping on you there, Deepa.
No, that's fine. Move on.
Okay.
Yeah. So and thank you again, Scott, for giving me this opportunity. So before doing this and researching on this topic, I was aware about gratitude. I was aware about saying thank you, and it's good feeling. but I was not aware about so much benefits. It has physical benefits, it has mental benefits. And you can see like and it's supported by the studies by Evans and McClure that gratitude helps us improving our physical health, to strengthen the immune system, which is very much required in this COVID time. So please try to say more thank you and be immune.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
chewing vitamin C tablets, just say thank you every time. And it helps us to lower the blood pressure. Yeah, Scott.
I'm thankful that for all the people that kind of shared our lives in this COVID time, and the other thing is I'm really thankful for the virologists and the people that have kind of got the vaccines out. I mean, it's amazingly short space of time they've done that. It's just amazing. I'm so thankful.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, it helps us to lower our blood pressure. Definitely, you can see those heart rates and the way we feel. So whenever we feel gratitude, feeling of gratitude help us to lower our blood pressure and then reduce symptoms of illness because we feel happy, make us less bothered by aches and pains. So it happens, whenever I'm with my kids, I'm feeling that feeling of gratitude to being with them. It always just help me to overcome with these aches and pains and illness, encourages us to exercise more and take better care of our health. So that's some of the physical importance, how physically it helps us, the gratitude help us.
I'm just remembering.
Yeah,
I'm just remembering back to remember the first days of COVID when we were all getting used to being in the house, and your kids would be in the background.
Yeah.
And I could.
Yeah.
I could see you not. I could see you not being thankful for them at that moment. Oh, it seems so long ago. A year. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So now there are real proven mental health benefits. Gratitude unshackle us from toxic emotions, definitely, because the feeling of happiness, feeling of giving, feeling of receiving, it helps us to move away from those toxic emotions, stress, other things. Gratitude helps us even if you don't share it. So if we are feeling the feeling of gratitude, it's okay if it still help us if we are not even saying thank you, but in our heart we think, yes, that person helps us in a way. I am grateful about this thing. That also helps us. Gratitude benefit takes time, so it's a long procedure. It would take time. Gratitude has lasting effects on the brain. So that's some of the mental health benefits. Next one. Yes, so you can see health benefit of gratitude, how to show gratitude. So we have 2 slides. Improve sleep quality, decrease blood pressure, we talked about it, increase your energy level, reduce stress and depressive symptoms, help you live longer. So there is there actually a study, very famous nun study over this, on which a group of nuns, they've studied 2 groups of nuns, and one group of nuns who are too grateful to the things, they live more, and there are very less chances for them to get an Alzheimer, and the other group, they live quite lesser than the ones who feel gratitude.
Ungrateful nuns.
Okay,
it sounds like
it sounds.
Ungrateful nuns sounds like an oxymoron.
It's not ungrateful nuns, but then they are not more positive about the things, or maybe they don't know. Yeah. How to show gratitude, give out compliments. Yeah, everybody loves compliments. Make a list of things you're grateful for. Volunteer in your community. Do small random acts of kindness. This is very important, and we learn it now more than any time. So this thing in COVID, this act of kindness, particularly India, we learn it a lot within this period. And smile.
Okay, so here's another here's another study on happiness, right? So again, one of the goals of positive psychology, as we spoke about at the beginning, is to try and make people happier. Happiness is a very interesting thing. It's quite fleeting. In a day we're going to have happiness and lose happiness, but and it also changes. So they've actually done studies on people, and people that have had their neck broken and people that are won the lottery. And after 6 months after having their neck broken or winning the lottery, they've got the same scores on happiness. So that's an interesting thing as well. So sometimes happiness might not be fleeting, but we know we can look back in times in our life when we were unhappy, and it's usually external stimulus like relationships or work situations or health situations and things. And we've all spoken a little bit about those on the call. But in this Seligman study, and again, Seligman's a great guy to follow on this. So again, at University of Pennsylvania, the impact of various psychological interventions on a large size of population, and writing about early memories. And when their week's assignment was to write and personally deliver a letter of gratitude to someone who had never really properly been thanked for their kindness, participants immediately exhibited a huge increase in happiness scores. This impact was greater than that from any other intervention. So maybe, when we get to, after this, if you're thinking about it, maybe we could do this exercise. In fact, I'm going to do this exercise. I'm going to go and write some gratitude letters that I've never done. And maybe if we put that exercise into the meetup, we email everyone, we can maybe kind of write back and see how we get on. I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, good. Nice idea. Yeah, why not?
Okay, so again, we're looking at the things we can do. So write a thank you note. I mean, that came from that study. So again, thank someone mentally. This is really interesting. So sometimes in situations that are a little bit tense, or even where you don't feel that the kind of the focus to be able to talk, even just doing it internally has an impact. You don't actually have to do it externally. Gratitude journals. And there are things like gratitude apps. Now, I had a couple of years ago, I had a gratitude app on the phone, and every day it would ask me to write about 3 things I'm grateful for. And the prompt on the phone and just writing it into the phone made me do it. And I always felt better after I did it. So, I mean, again, if you'd like to kind of boost that, a lot of we spoke a little about the religion thing. Many years ago, I trained as a minister of religion, and I would be in the the big old Victorian church in the pulpit talking to people, and I could actually see as we kind of went into some prayers, and people connected with the prayers, especially the thanking, and oftentimes I would say silently, thank people, and at the end of that, people relaxed. End of the service, they'd always been much more relaxed if we could bring that gratitude in. So yeah, I mean, fascinating just to think that all these religions had this, and somehow in the modern world, when we've kind of moved beyond some of the religions, or some of us have, we've lost that connection. So I guess in other places, things like yoga have taken over. But find a routine. So whether it's a gratitude app, or whether it's doing 10 minutes of yoga with Ariana on YouTube every day, it's something that brings you into that state where you just kind of slow down and do a little bit of meditation, and a little bit we'll do one of those too.
So we have especially gratitude meditation sessions also available on YouTube, and I think we'll do it.
Yeah. So the other thing is count your blessings. There's actually, you can use this with your children or friends or anyone who's upset or angry. Just get them to change their kind of mental attitude, by listing things. There's an old proverb that that I really believe in, and actually I probably use this proverb more than anything else, which is, if all of us on this call, could kind of physically put all of our problems into a pile, and we all piled them up, I would take one look at that pile and everyone else's problems visualized, and I would quietly go and take my problems and take it out, and walk away and feel much more humble. We don't see the things that everyone's going through, so and we forget the things that that we are grateful for. So counting your blessings is really important. We've talked about power of prayer, how that how that's kind of is useful, and meditation. So they're all great things that you could do almost now, and I would imagine, within lockdown and things, we have been touching on those. But certainly, if you're feeling a little bit disconnected and a little bit unhappy, do these. Don't sit in an attitude. Change your attitude. Okay, so let's move into let's move into a little bit more sharing again. So this time we're going to put you in groups of 5 because I want to make sure that some people there know a little bit about Agile. And what I want you to do is think about the Agile itself, the ceremonies, that we might have in Scrum, or the lenses that we might have in Heart of Agile, or some of the kind of the meetings that we might have in Kanban world, and just think about, how could we, use, the grateful thing. And before I do that, I'll tell you a little bit of story. So we had a great team when I was at NatWest, and we had an away day, and usually what everyone wants from Agile coaches is energizers and games and things to kind of get people motivated. And the team had done really well, but there was a little bit of a them and us between one of the suppliers and the team. So when we came back from lunch, the Scrum Master said, "Let's do an energizer." I said, "No, I've got something better." And we just went around the table one by one, talking about what we were grateful for. And team was mostly men. There were there's some great women there, but it was mostly men. And so probably looking at about 25 people. I think 5 women, 20 men, and it went around the table like a Thanksgiving dinner, with everyone thinking about what they're really glad about and for everything they've been done together in the last 6 months. And it was emotional. It was the kind of connection and emotion that you would have when you've stripped everything away and you've stripped all the crap and pretension, and you've actually had real human to human communication. That's what led me on this journey to actually kind of formulate this talk, because I'd never seen anything so profound. It was almost as if peace reigned, all the arguments went out of the room, everyone was appreciated, and that when everything was quiet, like the heartbeats diagram that Deepa showed, everyone's heart was quiet. And then we moved into some planning, and it was one of the best, most productive planning. Everyone listened, everyone shared, everyone was respectful. And I really think that was down to that one gratitude exercise. Again, just an experiment. Always try stuff. So what I'd like, so that was that's preamble. I'm going to set up the rooms now, and again, usual rules. If you don't want to go in, that's great. But after this conversation, after what you've heard and your own experience, if you could just share in the group, I think that would be absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to open up the rooms in a second. Okay, breakout rooms and recreate, and we'll put rooms of 5 this time. Don't worry if you don't know that much about Agile.
For 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, maybe make it a little. How are we doing for time? We're okay for time. Yeah, we'll make it for 10 minutes, and we're going to try and make it for 5 people in the room. And don't worry if you don't know that much about Agile. You can always just explain what stand-up is, or retro, or other things. And we're just going to put you in the room now. Thank you very much. Welcome back. Let me get my monitor on. Anyone else suffering from lockdown here?
Of course. Scott, it's quite funny when you get pulled back into the rooms, this lady's voice tells you that you're being recorded.
Oh, yeah.
And I almost wanted to say thank you.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, right. Let's show the slides again. Deepa, do you want to do the playback on this? Did Deepa come back yet?
Yeah, I am.
I didn't see you. Apparently, we got a big cognitive load now with Zoom screens. We keep looking around to see people and find them.
So, yeah, in my room, people are not very much familiar with Agile, but then we talked about how in their area, they are being grateful to the other person, to their colleagues. And Mike told us how he shared a very very interesting fact that one of his director, she always used to come by everyone's chair and say, how are you? But never stops stop to even listen to the answer, so it's just a checklist. She just trying to fulfill that. Okay, she asks everyone that how they are, but even not stop there for a second to understand what other person is saying.
She must have been on a course.
I think yeah. So I was telling Mike that that's the trick I really use till now. From even I was a Scrum Master or not, I mean, I really go to the people's desk when I enter the office, to whomsoever I know, and specifically say, hi, how are you? And just 1 or 2 minutes chit chat. And specifically with Scrum teams, it helps me a lot to have that bonding with the team, to have that trust. So that's the one I do. And another one I really like, I mean, that's not applied now, but physically when I was in the office, whenever I need some help from anyone, I used to go to the person's desk rather than asking them on Skype, please come over here or something like that. Whether he's a junior employee or senior employee, just go to their desk and ask them. So that's another way to, show gratitude in advance, that you are seeking you're seeking help from person. So go to them and ask them. That's I think that's the tip I'm using every time.
Excellent. Anyone else?
Anyone else?
Because we want to make sure we do the meditation before we go, because I know you like that one.
Yes.
Anyone not spoken yet would like to share something that they discovered?
I think it's me, Rohit. I was in a room with Judy and Joseph, and I think I learned something new from Judy. Like Judy got something as part of their retrospective. They give an opportunity to everyone to say thank you, or anyone help them in the team. So that's quite good. Yeah. So I think which is good to have a dedicated time for that, and called out as well is quite good. So thank you, Judy, for sharing. So we can implement as well.
There's a Jurgen Appello did the kudos stuff, manager of happiness, and the kudos cards are downloadable. I once worked with a team, and I gave them the templates and said, go off with it. And they were coming up with it was a really strong team, and they were coming up with about 40 every week. And with a little folder. So anytime anyone wanted to thank anyone, they would put it in the little folder next to the Kanban board. And on Thursday morning at the stand-up, we'd read them out. We changed the format, so it was like who it was from as well. So after about 3 weeks, I had this pile on my desk. So I got some string, and I kind of strung them all up. And because they're quite colourful, Jurgen's kudos cards, it actually looked like Christmas decorations. So anyone came to our area, at one point there was like 10 garlands of this, so the leadership would come down and say, "What's this?" And I'd say, "Go and have a read." And they would just look and read and go, "Wow, this is amazing."
Yeah, even it's on LinkedIn, you can give thanks card, thank you card over LinkedIn also. I mean, you can post thank you over there. Yeah.
Yeah, the kudos. I think we've done that. Yeah. And any more, and then we'll do a quick. Then we'll do a quick meditation, and then we'll do a quick. We want to do a retro just to see if we can do this better. Okay. So any more?
Yeah, I can go. There's another Rohit too. So, and I was in a room with Maru and Santhanam, and we were discussing regarding gratitude. It's not always be thank you or kudos. It's always been like having psychologically safe team or environment as well. So when somebody made a mistake, you help them come out of that. Right? It's not about always like, oh, thank you. It's when somebody made a mistake, they are the vulnerable best then, right? So we have to take them out of that vulnerability and then make sure they are okay. Yeah, mistakes happen. Yeah, don't worry, we learn from it and we carry on. So so this is what we discuss as well in our chat room. Yeah.
Brilliant. That's absolutely wonderful. Thank you for that, guys, and thank you for all the comments in the chat. That is downloadable by everyone, but I'll also ping it around the mail group. Excellent. Okay. Right. Do you want to introduce this, Deepa?
Yeah. So it's a brief video wherein it helps us to do some meditation. I think that's good for something to take us to a journey of how we would feel gratitude about everything. Scott, please play.
Yeah, give us a second. I want to make sure I've got the audio setting on
Okay.
because
Yeah,
I wasn't
yeah.
sure if it persists. Yeah. Okay, let's just relax a little bit, and let's play.
Yes, I think it will help you to be calm.
That helped
It's
me.
very nice.
Gratitude.
Yeah.
Close your eyes and rest your hands on your knees. Bring your awareness to the touch of your body on your seat. Feel the weight of your body on your chair or cushion. Take a few deep breaths. While you are breathing deeply, relax your shoulders, your stomach muscles, the muscles in your face and your hands and your legs. Let go of all the tension in your body. Now bring your attention back to your breath. Notice what it feels like as it enters through your nose, goes down your throat, filling your lungs, and back out through your nose. Notice your stomach and chest rise and fall with each inhale and exhale, and allow your breathing to be natural and relaxed. Whenever you become distracted, gently bring your attention back to the sensation of your breath going in and out. Maintaining this mindful awareness, take a moment to reflect on gratitude. What are you truly thankful for? It's easy to forget that on the most basic level, we are alive and breathing. We may have problems and experience pain, but in many ways, we have a healthy life compared to other people. Think about the freedoms you have that many in the world don't get to experience. Think about the opportunities that are available to you. How might it feel if any of those things were taken away? Think about your relationships. What support have you been given throughout your life? Think of people who have been kind to you, the family members and friends who have supported you. Remember the teachers who have encouraged and taught you or have inspired you to learn. How much do you depend on the cooperation and support of other people? Think about how your home, your school, the food you eat, and the clothes you wear all come from the efforts and hard work of other people. And just take a moment to genuinely appreciate all of the freedoms, opportunities, and support available to you. Now, it may be that you're not feeling so grateful right now at this very moment, and that's okay. Just notice where you are and make the wish to feel gratitude. Now let all of your thoughts, images, and feelings dissolve like a cloud dissolving in the sky, and let your mind rest. When you're ready, gently bring your attention back to the room and to the touch of your body on your seat.
How are you feeling, Scott?
Much happier. Usually at the end of a call, I'm feeling stressed, so I'm feeling happier.
Yeah, that's the beauty of meditation.
Yeah, so we'd like to do some feedback. So if you could use menti.com, and again, if you just go to your phone or your laptop or anything, put www.menti.com in. And what menti.com does is it asks you for a number. So if you want to put that number in, then it should ask you a couple of questions that we put together. And this is just a little bit of feedback for Deepa and I, just to see how we could, help improve the call. And if anyone's got any problems, if you put in the chat, we can see if we can help you. And I'll try and open this link.
Could you display the number again, or is it in the chat?
We could put it in the. It's 1753224. Deepa, could you pop that in the chat? So it's 1753
Yeah, sure.
24. Okay, so really good session. Too much to know about gratitude, which I never thought of such an important element of our professional as well as personal life. Yeah, really good point. I mean, it's everywhere. Build gratitude and team values, definitely. Definitely kudos stuff. Jürgen's book. I'm not sure if I've got a copy here. Yeah, I do. Manager for Happiness, just giving kudos. In fact, what I would do is right now after the call, go to LinkedIn, go to the kudos section, and give someone a kudos. Someone that's what you've worked with in the week, that's done something really good. Go to LinkedIn, select them, and press the kudos button, and then just tell them what you'd like. I had Seth the other day had got one from Craig Coburn, and he showed me it, and he went, "Look at this, it's amazing." And I went, "Yeah, Seth, you're really good." And he got so excited because he got some kudos. So let's build that into our routines. Okay. All right, and everyone looks to be feeling happier now. The presenters did well, and there was a safe and friendly environment. So that's really awesome. That's going to open a week, but that's really the scores we wanted to see, doesn't it, Deepa?
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
And we've got some more things coming in here.
For being a wonderful audience.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. The video is going to go up into the archive, so you can access it. I'll email the slide link around to everybody. I'm going to turn on the camera now. Maybe we could just, if you want to wave hands or turn your mute or mute or thank each other. Thank each other for being here and sharing time. We could have been anywhere in the world, but we decided to be here with each other. And that's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you mind to take a photograph?
Yeah, I would not mind at all.
If possible.
Yeah, and the other thing is, top tip for people taking photographs, there's a 5-second delay thing, so you can not only, so you don't have like using the mouse face, you can actually, so we've got 5 seconds, so 5 seconds. Let's everyone wave your hands. And that's it taken. Wonderful, beautiful people. Enjoy the rest of the festival, okay? And lovely to see you beautiful people. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Deepa.
Bye.
Thank you, Scott.
Bye.
Thanks, Deepa.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.